In the beginning of the story, we are shown a ruined world. The entire land is barren, except for an area in Australia called the Green Place of Many Mothers. There was still water in this area. Fruits were grown through farming, and many women lived here as well. In this area, a girl named Furiosa came to pick up a ripe fruit. She heard some noise nearby. When she went closer, she saw many bikers. Furiosa cut the oil pipe of one of the bikers' bikes, and as she was about to cut another, the other biker saw her. Before he could catch her, Furiosa stabbed a knife in her leg and ran away. While running, she started whistling loudly, alerting the people of that area about the danger. Before she could escape and reach the populated area, the biker successfully stopped her by throwing a rope towards her. They captured Furiosa and started taking her away. On the other side, Furiosa's mother and all the warriors followed these bikers on horseback to save Furiosa. While riding, Furiosa's mother strangled a biker and took his bike. Before she could escape to save Furiosa, the people of the area gave her some seeds and reminded her that no one should know about the Green Place, and those who have seen it should not survive. Hearing this, she quickly moved ahead and killed a biker with a gun. The two bikers in front tried to see what happened and noticed Furiosa's mother coming from a distance. They sped away in fear, while Furiosa cut the oil pipe of the bike she was tied to. Furiosa's mother fixed her bike with parts from the dead biker's bike and refueled it, then pursued the bikers again. By evening, the fuel of the bike the bikers had tied Furiosa to ran out because she had cut its fuel pipe. In this situation, the two bikers fought each other. Taking the opportunity, Furiosa freed herself and tried to escape, but she didn't succeed in reaching home because the bikers caught her again and took her back to their area. In the morning, Furiosa's mother also reached the bikers' camp, where she saw the bikers and Furiosa in the Green Place. She shot and killed a biker, but the other biker safely reached his camp with Furiosa and informed everyone about the Green Place. He told them there were many resources and women there. Furiosa realized that now her people were in danger because he would definitely reveal the location of the Green Place. So Furiosa smartly put a rope around the man's neck and killed him by throwing him off the bike in front of everyone. Finally, she and her mother killed all the bikers who knew the location of the Green Place. Now the bikers took Furiosa to their leader because she was the only one who could lead them to the Green Place. The leader of the bikers was very smart. He behaved well with Furiosa and told everyone to take care of her so that he could learn the location of the Green Place by trapping her. At night, Furiosa's mother also came to this camp. She disguised herself as a dead biker to find Furiosa. She went to every camp, shooting everyone there when she didn't find Furiosa. Finally, she reached the camp where Furiosa was. After taking Furiosa, she was about to kill the last girl there, but the girl pleaded, saying, "Don't kill me. I'm also a prisoner like your daughter." Hearing this, Furiosa's mother spared her and fled with Furiosa on her bike, not knowing that the girl she spared would betray her. The girl triggered the emergency alarm, and many people pursued Furiosa and her mother. From a distance, the bikers attacked them with bombs, burning all of Furiosa's mother's clothes. To escape the fire, she removed her armor suit and continued fleeing. Despite going very far, the bikers were still close behind. Furiosa's mother realized she wouldn't be able to escape them, so she got off the bike, gave it to Furiosa, and told her to go home alone. She also gave Furiosa a peach seed and told her to grow it when she returned. She stayed behind to fight the bikers, but no matter how many she challenged alone, soon all the bikers surrounded her. Furiosa was also captured and saw that they had tied her mother to a tree and killed her mercilessly in front of her eyes. Afterward, the leader of the bikers put her in a cage, dressed her like him, and forced her to watch everything that he thought was entertaining. He also gave Furiosa his daughter's teddy bear, which Furiosa dropped. Angrily, the biker leader ordered her to leave. Along with her, an old man also left, who told Furiosa, "If you learn to read and write from me, you will become a useful person for our leader." But Furiosa refused to listen. She secretly tattooed a map of the route to the Green Place on her arm, hoping that one day she would return there and fearing that she might forget the way. Time passed, and one day, all the bikers were traveling when they saw red smoke. They figured people must be living there. They followed the smoke and found a war boy who took them to the citadel. Immortan Joe ruled this fort. He had water, grew food, and provided it to his soldiers. He had trained his soldiers to be willing to die for him. These bikers, who lacked resources, told Immortan Joe that if he didn't cooperate and provide them with supplies, they would wage war. Hearing this, Immortan Joe mocked them and ordered one of his warriors to die, proving to the biker leader that no matter how powerful he was, nothing was more important than his army, who were ready to die for him. After he said this, his men lifted all the bikers' bikes with chains. The bikers had no choice but to flee to save themselves. As they were fleeing, the biker leader saw that Furiosa had fallen out of her cage and was stuck in a pit. He risked his life to save Furiosa, and they fled together. On the way, they saw another fort called Gastown, where oil was refined to fuel Immortan Joe's vehicles and weapons. The biker leader planned to take over this fort to blackmail Immortan Joe with the oil supply, but the fort's security was tight. To deceive them, he disguised many of his people as war boys and approached the gate of Gastown. When the gatekeepers refused to let them in, the biker leader killed his own men to convince them he had taken over Immortan Joe's fort and enslaved his people. Seeing this, the gatekeepers opened the gate. After taking control of Gastown, the biker leader, Dementus, cut off the fingers of the town's leader and sent them to Immortan Joe. Immortan Joe realized that Dementus was gaining power, primarily due to the oil, and sent a message requesting a meeting. This was exactly what Dementus wanted. He needed basic supplies that Immortan Joe possessed. To negotiate, he appeared before Immortan Joe with the Gastown leader. The Gastown leader, Immortan Joe's brother, was very sick, with many bodily functions supported by machines. To provoke Immortan Joe, Dementus first tortured his brother with the machine and then killed him. Afterward, he said to Immortan Joe, "I've planted bombs throughout Gastown. Only I know how to activate or disable them. If you want to save your town, make me the leader, or else you'll lose everything." While Dementus was talking, Immortan Joe's attention was on Furiosa. Immortan Joe said, "Okay, I'll give you Gastown, but in return, I want your daughter and a biker." Furiosa interrupted, saying, "I'm not his daughter. He killed my mother and kidnapped me." Dementus, angered, took his daughter's toy from her and gave her to Immortan Joe before leaving. Furiosa was taken to a place where Immortan Joe's many wives lived. Furiosa was to become one of Immortan Joe's wives and live in his harem. These women were kind to Furiosa, but Furiosa was focused on how Immortan Joe forced all these girls to stay with him. She noticed that when Immortan Joe's daughter was born, he ordered her to be buried alive in anger, as he only wanted sons. Although he had many sons, none were healthy enough for him, so he kept them as war boys. He had so many wives, hoping that one day he would have a healthy son to rule the citadel like him. Immortan Joe's son's gaze fell on Furiosa. He grabbed her by the hair and attempted to assault her. Furiosa escaped this time, but feared it might happen again, so she shaved off all her hair and made a wig. She still had the peach seed her mother had given her, which she kept safe. The next time the boy came to harass her and grabbed her hair, Furiosa left her wig in his hands and escaped. The boy, on his way to find her, encountered his brother, who asked, "What are you doing here?" He had no answer and threw away Furiosa's wig, fearing punishment from his father. Anyway, he searched for Furiosa, but she wasn't found because she was disguised as a boy. In this way, she saved her reputation and got a job at the Citadel. She was very good at jumping, so she was assigned the job of fitting the chains inside the big machines of Immortan Joe. Time passes, and we see that Furiosa has grown up after 15 years. No one could recognize her that she is a girl that too, because until today, Furiosa pretended to be dumb and also fulfilled all those rituals of Immortan Joe, which made him believe that Furiosa is also loyal to him. This time, Immortan Joe gives her the job of making a big drill that can destroy anything easily. They also succeeds in making a machine that they attach to a truck, and as they take it out for the first test drive, Dementus attack it. Dementus attack this machine with parachutes and attack the war boys with bombs. Jack, who was driving this truck, does not stop this truck, but keeps driving. Dementus also attacked this truck, because of which there was a major fault in the truck. At this time, Furiosa shows bravery and tries to fix the fault by going under the truck so that Jack can take this truck away from here quickly. But to fail this attempt, a man from Dementus also came under the truck. He was placing a bomb under the truck. Furiosa not only fights with him, but by killing him and dropping him, she also succeeded in throwing the bomb from her truck. After it, she moved inside while repairing the truck. Dementus's men were still killing the war boys outside the truck, and when the war boy attacks the small truck of Dementus, the truck gets into an accident and collides with that truck, which caused a jerk to Furiosa, and the hat on her head came off. Seeing her flying hair, her secret was revealed in front of Jack that she is a girl. They now focus on their war, and Furiosa successfully kills her enemies. After killing her enemies, she took Jack to the gunpoint because she knew that Jack would create a problem for her. But here, Jack says, "You are a good warrior, and I don't care about your gender. We have been given the task of controlling this rig, and I want you to support me like a team member." Furiosa agrees, and they take this rig truck to the gas town where Dementus sees Furiosa after years. But now, because she has grown older, so Dementus doesn't recognize her. It discovers that Dementus have run out of oil supplies, in which return he take other supplies from Immortan Joe. He tells Jack to somehow get a meeting with Immortan Joe. Jack agrees, but he was not ready to give them any supply without oil, so all these bikers attack them and start stealing all the food. To save it, Furiosa takes her truck out of here, and Jack starts hitting people who were trying to come near his truck. Anyway, they now safely reach their citadel and give a message to Immortan Joe to meet Dementus. In all this fight, Furiosa was also shot by an arrow. Jack pulls that arrow out of her shoulder and then stitches it. They came very close. Jack asked him how your parents died. Furiosa told him that these bikers had kidnapped her and brought her here. Furiosa shows him the peach seed that her mom had given her. Then she shows him her hand where the map of the green place was made. She still hopes that she can go there. Jack says, "I promise, I will try to take you to your place." And Furiosa says, "I want you to come with me." Here they get a message from Immortan Joe that he is going to a meeting with the Dementus. They also have to move behind him with their army. Jack does not make her sit in the rig, but gives her a job to drive a truck, because he had a plan that he would trick everyone and reach the green place through this truck. As they reach the gas town, a truck succeeds in entering the gas town first, while Furiosa turns her face from here and was now waiting for Jack to come with her. But Jack also left a green smoke in the air. Instead of coming with her means he was calling war boys for a war. Seeing this, Furiosa got angry and moved ahead alone. Before she could reach the green place, she also had a chance, but she didn't go. She thought of Jack, who was fighting alone there, so she comes back to the gas town to help Jack and picks up her sniper and starts shooting everyone here. The same bullet also touched Dementus. Jack breaks the gas town gate with his rig and goes inside it. Now he had started breaking the entire structure here with the drill placed on this rig. Doing this, the bikers also attack him to stop, and in all this, his rig breaks and he falls into a pit. At the right time, Furiosa enters here and takes him out while hanging a chair from a bike. After it, they sit in another truck and get out of here. Now they intended that they would run away from here and leave for the green place, but they don't know that Dementus was behind them. As Dementus's truck joins Furiosa's truck, Furiosa pulls out her gun to attack the truck. In all this, her hand comes between the two trucks. This is the same hand on which she had made a map. They were now captured by Dementus, and he had made both of them his slaves. Suddenly, the bikes around them start moving. They tie Jack to a bike and make him spin in circles. Jack was getting close to his death by each passing second, while Furiosa was tied with chains. The bikes around them were spinning fast, and Dementus was entertained by seeing all this. When he gets bored of all this, he turns back and sees Furiosa, who had now left her cut arm and ran away from there. In anger, Dementus sits in his truck to chase her. He finds out that Furiosa had also removed the tire of his truck, due to which he had an accident. The bike on which Furiosa was running, its petrol runs out when she goes a little far, and thus Furiosa had to walk on her journey ahead. Her arm was badly injured, it was bleeding, and there was scorching sun in this area, due to which she fainted here. Her good fortune was that she was seen by the war boy of Citadel, who brought him back to Citadel. She was treated here, and when she regained consciousness, she talked about meeting Immortan Joe. When she was taken to Immortan Joe, she tells him that Dementus is coming to attack him soon. He has also planned to destroy the gas town, and now he wants to occupy the Citadel. For all this, Immortan Joe plans that they will reach there before destroying his gas town means before Dementus attacks Citadel, they were going to attack the gas town. As they reach near the gas town, Dementus also see them and announce the war. Between the Citadel and the gas town, the war between these two parties begins, which went on for a week. Both teams kept hitting each other badly, and during all this, Furiosa went to Citadel and made her mechanical arm and then took a bad car and went back to the spot of the war. She goes there and sees that the sons of Immortan Joe were repairing their vehicles and weapons, from where she also takes a tire to repair her car. As she goes ahead, she sees that Dementus and some of his remaining people were running away from here, saving their lives. They also see Furiosa's car. Before they attack Furiosa, Furiosa comes running her car, hits them all with her car, and engulfs them in the sand. She killed everyone, but she didn't see Dementus anywhere. When she looked away, a biker was running away from there. It was no one else but Dementus. Dementus's death was near because his bike was broken, and now Furiosa had come to him. Here, Furiosa could have killed him in one shot, but not so easily. She wanted Dementus to remember who she was and why she was after Dementus. She tortured him so much so that he fainted. When he regained consciousness, Furiosa told her, "I am the same girl you kidnapped 15 years ago, and you killed my mother in front of my eyes." Dementus still couldn't remember Furiosa, so Furiosa cuts the teddy bear chained with him. Now she recognizes who Furiosa is. He apologizes and says, "If you forgive me, we can rule this place together. You are very brave." Hearing this, Furiosa drops her teddy bear on the ground. After that, she pointed a gun at her head. Everyone thought Furiosa had killed her, but it was not so. In fact, Furiosa buried him alive and put her peach tree on it, the seed that was given to her by her mom. The ground took Dementus's nutrients, i.e. power, and made a huge tree and planted a peach on it. Dementus was watching all this with his eyes. It was his last time. After this, he might have died. The scene cuts. On the other hand, we see Furiosa managing to save all of Immortan Joe's wives from captivity using her rig. She rescues them and takes them to the green place. This story concludes